First and foremost, all thanks and praises unto our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Warakwadash. Peace, blessings, much respect to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, on down to the rest of the elders who rule well within Israel. Salutations to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where, whom they may be, or what they may look like, pushing out this purified truth to the rest of the church who believe as well. You men who may not be teachers or prophets, you women, sons and daughters also. The water to Yahweh Shai, because without him enduring and going to that cross for the nation of Israel and the nation of Israel alone, none of this would even be possible whatsoever. Let's jump into the lesson with the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3 and verse 23. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in the Lord our power is the salvation of Israel. So salvation is for Israel. Salvation isn't for the whole world. Salvation is not for everybody on earth. Salvation is for the nation of Israel. Okay? Regardless of what these other nations try to say, regardless of them claiming to have hope, thinking that this is about them, this is about the nation of Israel. So let's read this again in Jeremiah 3 and 23. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in the Lord Yahweh our power is the salvation of Israel. So it's about the salvation of Israel, not the salvation of Edom, not the salvation of Ishmael, not the salvation of Moab. It's only about Israel. You have to be an Israelite if you are to receive salvation. Let's jump to Psalms chapter 14 and verse 4, which is spiritual. That's 144. Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread, and call not upon the Lord? And the workers of iniquity, being these devils, they eat our people up. They eat off of our people, right? They deceive our people. They don't believe in the Most High, but they pretend like they believe in the Most High. Let's hold this. It's either Psalms or Proverbs. Let's try Psalms first. So this is Psalms chapter 50 and verse 16. But unto the wicked the power saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee. So what we have to understand is when it comes to these devils, salvation is far from them. They don't follow the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. They pretend, they're hypocrites, but in reality, they take the ways of the Lord and cast it behind their back. Let's jump back now to Psalms 14 and verse 4. Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge? How are they workers of iniquity? Because they take the ways of the Lord and cast it behind their back. Who eat up my people, being you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as they eat bread, and call not upon the Lord. There were they in great fear of the power. For the power is in the generation of the righteous. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is always dealing with the elect of his people. And the generation of the righteous, well, those are the believers within Israel that you're seeing today with this truth, with the belief in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? And seeing that our people are being devoured by these devils, they don't put any trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. These devils claim to believe in the Lord, but they cast the ways of the Lord behind their back. Okay? You think the Lord isn't angry with this world? And at the end of the day, the Lord's only dealing with Israel anyway. Let's go to verse 6. Ye have shamed the counsel of the poor, because the Lord is his refuge, and the poor represents Israel. Oh, that the salvation of Israel will come out of Zion. When the Lord bringeth back the captivity of his people, Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad. So Israel's going to rejoice and be glad because salvation is for Israel. Salvation is for our people, not for you other nations. Let's touch on the book of John. Chapter 4 and verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. And the Jews represent Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. But really that trickles down to all Israel. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Ephraim, Zebulun, Reuben, Gad, Naphtali, Manasseh, Issachar, and Asher. All the tribes. Salvation is for the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. So salvation is of the Jews. Salvation is for Israelites. And we have an understanding in that. The people of this world, they're lost. They think it's all about everybody. It's not all about everybody. Okay? Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 7. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, the Redeemer of Israel. Notice it said the Redeemer of Israel, not the Redeemer of everybody, every nation on earth, the Redeemer of Israel, and his Holy One, to him whom man despiseth, to him whom the nation abhorreth, to a servant of rulers, kings shall see and arise. Princes also shall worship, because of the Lord is faithful, and the Holy One of Israel, and he shall choose thee. So the nation of Israel is the chosen nation. The nation of Israel is going to be redeemed. Verse 8, thus saith the Lord, in an acceptable time have I heard thee, and in a day of salvation have I helped thee. I will preserve thee, speaking to Israelites, and give thee for a covenant of the people, to establish the earth, to cause to inherit the desolate heritage. So this is all about the nation of Israelites. Okay, this is about you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the nation that's going to be redeemed. Salvation and the covenants is for you. Salvation is not for these other nations. Isaiah chapter 46 and verse 13. I bring near my righteousness. It shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry. And I will place salvation in Zion for Israel, my glory. So who is salvation for? Salvation is for Israel, not for any other nation. And anyone else who's trying to say differently, you are a liar. If you're not speaking according to this word, that is because there is no light in you. Let's get that Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. So if you're saying all nations can receive salvation, all nations can be a part of this, the light is not in you. Okay? This is the book of Isaiah. Is this the one that I want here? Let me try 60. This is Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 1. Arise, shine, for the light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. That's why this truth is coming out of Israelites. It's the Negro, Latino, and Native American teaching this truth the way that we teach it. Because the Lord said he wouldn't give his glory to another. Okay? The glory is being seen upon his people, being seen on the nation of Israel. And darkness has covered the whole earth because most people believe salvation is for all nations in terms of whether you're an Edomite, an Ishmaelite, or so forth. Now, salvation is for all nations in the sense that our people have been dispersed and scattered throughout all nations. Okay? Through the diaspora, as you will call it. So darkness, all these different lies, all these different wicked, evil thoughts that people have against this truth that don't line up with scriptures, that's a common thing. That is a common theme. Okay? For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people, but the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. Upon who? The Israelites, because we're the Lord's people. Isaiah 8:20 again, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them, but we have the light. Okay? Isaiah 46:13 again, I bring near my righteousness. It shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry. And I will place salvation in Zion for Israel, my glory. So the glory is for Israel. The Lord is not giving that glory to any other nation. Okay? But it goes to who? The Lord's people. Let's go to Acts chapter 13, I believe. Let's go to Acts 13. In verse 26. Men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham, and whosoever among you feareth the power, to you is the word of this salvation sent. For they that dwell at Jerusalem and their rulers, because they knew him not, nor yet the voices of the prophets which are read every Sabbath day, they have fulfilled them in condemning him. But going back to the point, it says, men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham, and whosoever among you feareth the power, to you is the word of this salvation sent. That's not speaking of everybody. Okay? And guess what? Abraham was considered the Lord's friend. And out of Abraham came the Lord's chosen people. It wasn't speaking of anyone else that came out of Abraham outside of Isaac, Jacob, and on down to where we are right now, being you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans today. Men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham, and whosoever among you feareth the power, to you is the word of this salvation sent. So in order for you to have salvation, you have to be of the stock of Abraham. But even with that, it goes even deeper. Not just coming out of Abraham is enough, but coming out of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's how you are a child of the covenant, a child of the promise. Okay? And salvation is for you. Psalms 105 and verse 5. Remember his marvelous works that he hath done, his wonders and the judgments of his mouth. O ye seed of Abraham, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen. So coming out of Abraham is good, but you have to come out of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the chosen line. Those are the people who are sanctioned to receive salvation. And that's why we're here in America right now, bringing out this truth the way that we are, in the boldness that we do, because this is prophecy, because we are the Israelites. Okay? Going down to verse 9. Verse 8. He hath remembered his covenant forever with the Israelites, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant he made with Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob, for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant. So it's about the nation of Israel. Salvation is for the Jews. Salvation is for you 12 tribes. Let's touch on Baruch chapter 4 and verse 30. freezing up again. It does this sometimes. Baruch chapter 4 and verse 30. Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflict thee and rejoice at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the power. Lo, thy sons come, who thou sentest away. They come together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of the power. So this is happening with who? The Israelites. We're the ones receiving this word. We're the ones glorying in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. We're the ones being trampled down upon. We're the ones who lost our name. Let's go to Baruch chapter 2 and verse 28. As thou spakest by thy servant Moses, in the day when thou didst command him to write the law before the children of Israel, not any other nation, okay, saying, if you will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them, because that's part of the curses. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. And that's what we're doing right now. We are remembering ourselves. That's why we're calling ourselves by whatever particular tribe. We're saying that we're the Israelites because this is prophecy. This isn't men's goings on their own. This is of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And people just can't understand that. Okay? And shall know that I am the Lord their power. For I will give them an heart and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name. The elect will have the name. The believers will have the names. And return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds. Because we were all in darkness at one time. But we came into the light. We repented. We turned away from our wicked deeds. We remembered ourselves again. Okay? For they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before the Lord. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them. So it's all about Israel. It's always been about Israel. And it's not going to change. You other nations have nothing to do with this. All right. Malachi chapter 3 and verse 6. For I am the Lord Yahweh, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So the Lord hasn't changed yesterday, today, or tomorrow. The Lord is going to remain. This word is going to remain. And the nation of Israel, we have not been consumed. We still here. We still the Lord's people. And that's just how it's going to be. All right. You other nations, you just got to deal with that. All right. That's why we're in World War III right now. The Lord is doing that for us. The Lord is doing that because he's about to bring us home. But things have to happen first. Things have to happen in a particular order. But nevertheless, we're at that point. We are at that moment. So Lord willing, this was simple and edifying. All thanks and praises unto our power. Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Wa Rakakwadash. Shalom.